Hey guys, Ranch here, bringing you all stock of commentary. This is going to be the winner's match in Group E of the Ro32 of the whatever MSL. Ranch in MSL 2010 spring season. This is going to be between Hydra and Best. Hydra definitely the upset in the second set against Stork. I was expecting a PvP in the winner's match, but hey, sometimes you get surprised. So we're going to see what these guys bring here. On match point. PvZ. Now, Hydra's really an unexperienced player. He has under 50 pro matches, but he has about a 50% win rate overall. So, not so bad for a rookie. We're going to see what happens. Bottom left-hand corner at the 7 o'clock, we're going to have the red zerg Hydra, of course. And at the upper right-hand corner, we're going to have the green protoss Best, who apparently is sponsored by Craze Burgers. I want to try me a Craze Burger. With a nice cold beer. I haven't had a beer in ages. Because beer's expensive, and I don't know. I can afford beer. Because when you have one beer, sometimes you want another beer, and that's a problem. So, sink it here. 43, 44, 45. That's going to help me out a little bit. But let's see. I'm expecting pretty much standard stuff here. Hydra started off pretty standard. Down and went for Muta switch up to start the game off, but then really pumped a lot of Hydras. Took Stork off guard. You know, it's a pretty good strategy by him. Go for those Mutas, force Stork to focus on anti-air defenses, forcing him to go Archons, and then the minute he didn't really do much damage with the Mutas at all, but then he switched up into a very heavy Hydra army. Forced Stork to engage in the middle. I don't really know why Stork did so. I feel Stork could have actually drawn back a little bit with all of his Zealots defended in a cannon position, but he decided to engage in the middle where he had only a couple Archons and a bunch of Zealots, and that does not work out very well against a huge grouping of Hydras. But I look forward to see what he goes for here. I really liked his play in the first one, despite the fact that his Mutas didn't do much, but I don't think that was really as important. At the very least, he had nice switch-ups. Setting out his drone, apparently... okay, it was 6 o'clock position. That's interesting. Okay, you don't really see Zergs go for the 6 o'clock position that quickly. You generally see them expand towards the upper left-hand simply because it's, well, it's far away. Both of these bases are pretty far away. It takes a while to defend them both. But there's a much smaller choke at the 6 o'clock position to defend. So I was thinking maybe, hey, I'll be able to defend because of that. We're going to see where he pops down out of drone to pick up his natural expo afterwards. But at the very least, going for this early 6 o'clock, there's going to be no harassment of the natural expo. He gets a definite base. That probe's not going to follow it over there and try to harass it there. Meanwhile, yeah, Best still has this probe inside. A couple Zerglings popping out. Actually going straight for Best's base, leaving the probe completely alone. No, okay, there we go. Taking the probe, going out with the drone, just trying to harass the probe. Make sure that the drone can go and take that base down freely and safely. On the opposite side, we see the Nexus going down before the cannons. Of course, it's what you do. Your opponent's going for a very economic build. I think he went for 12 hatch and a quick spawning pool after that. I think he completely missed the spawning pool timing, actually, that he went for. Might have gone for an overpull, but I completely missed the timing. Don't think I even spotted this pony pool coming down. Just kind of assumed it was on the way. Probe almost coming down here, but it did steal that gas. And cancel that. Cancels that. At the very least tries to delay the gas for a little while. Wanted some of those minerals back though. Didn't want to waste 100 gas to steal the gas of a zerg. But it has his Nexus almost up. Yeah, probe coming off. One probe prone just to put down. Sending out a scout. Okay, so I thought he was maybe coming down to start mining on that new base of his. But he's going to send out another probe scout just to make sure what's going on. He'll be able to freely go down to 6 o'clock if he wants to. But he's actually going to go to the upper right hand, apparently, thinking of seeing whether there's a base hidden there. Might have actually missed that drone coming down. He definitely saw the drone coming out, I think, but he didn't see that the drone went to the 6 o'clock. But he's actually ran down to the 12 o'clock at 1 second. Production hatchery coming down for Hydra as well. She's going to get his mining going and get his gas going and get his lair going. 7 core on the way. We're going to see what kind of tech decisions go over here. I really like heavy Ser builds on this map. There's a lot of space, I feel, for aerial units to dominate. That's why I feel carriers work on this map. Arbiters work well on this map as well. Pretty much all aerial units work well on this map. Mutas can work. Yes, work Mutas can work very well on this map. Our signal lair coming up. So we're definitely going to see a lair before Hydra Den. And we're just going to see whether it's going to be just to get the initial Scourge or to go for a partial fake out where you get those Mutas instead of those heavy Hydra, instead of pumping heavy Hydras right off the bat. Did that against Stort to start off with. Starg on the opposite side, we're going to be seeing the Corsair scat going out there. Best, most likely, like the usual, going to get one single kill with that. And maybe one or two Overlord kills. And then done. Unless he decides to go for a very heavy Corsair pump, but I don't really see Best going for heavy Corsairs unless he goes for a Corsair Reaver. Do see the Hydra coming down actually before Spire, so we're going to see what he decides to go for, whether it does go just a heavy Hydra pump right off the bat just to get those Scourge alongside. Lair not up yet, but the probe thankfully for Best spots that. God, I'm coming off a 2-hour nap. Just don't know how that happened. Just, I'm going to rest my eyes for 20 minutes. You know how that happens. And you rest your eyes for 20 minutes, and you want to rest your eyes for a little bit longer, and you end up resting your eyes for 2 hours. And much of that resting was actually sleeping. Let's see if 6 Zerglings is still around that, chasing that probe around. Best done a good job of keeping that alive. Has weapons 1 upgrading and 3 Zealots at the front defending. Has additional gateways coming up. Okay, Templar Archives up. So he's going to focus on the ground army. Has a second Corsair on the way. Going to pick up the Overlord Scout before it does anything else. Are the probes still chasing? Is the probe still being chased down? I think it's been picked off at this point. Zealots to run in defensive position. And Evolution Shaper coming down naturally. I did see the Hydra pump start, so this is going to be Hydra build. Let's see. More Corsairs going. He's going to continue some Corsair production, going to try to do some damage. We're going to see. He is going to go for Templars. We're going to see what he tries to go for high Templar drops. I'm not seeing that many of those early game. Might go for DT drops if he puts down his robotics facility down soon. But it probably would be down already. Just for some reason, I don't see that many high Templar drops early game because generally people they don't want to risk. They don't want to risk their high Templars in the early game, particularly when their Hydras out in the field. Second overall going to get picked off. But I still think can be a viable strategy, especially on a map like this, where I feel that you can go in with a high Templar drop and easily save your high Templar right afterwards. Third Overlord might get picked off by these Corsairs, so at the very least, good job being done here by Best. He's going to get his front threat, though he has a couple of cannons here, a few Zealots, and a DT to defend. This DT is going to do the job. This DT is going to do the trick. The Zergling's coming to come out, pick off both these cannons. Good job by the Zerglings, just going in and picking up the cannons while the Hydras distract the Zealots. But the DTs are going to be able to push these Hydras back. Good DT timing there. But there is Overlord speed out there, so Hydra has a pretty large Hydra army. It just feels so awkward to say that, but it has a lot of Overlords as well to support those. Corsairs, a few of them, they've already killed, I think, 3 Overlords. But they've done a good job with that. But still, his front is going to be very risky. Ooh, a lot of danger here. Bunch of cannons going to be put down. 1 high Templar coming out. That's not going to have enough energy to do anything. Probes being peeled off the line, trying to blockade for those cannons. Not really much on the ground as well. No idea what happened to all these Zealots. Had 3 Zealots earlier on. Of course, just flying around, trying to pick up some of those Overlords. His DTs, meanwhile, going out to harass. 6 composition being harassed. Some of those Overlords being picked down, but the Hydras coming in very heavily. High Templars being running down or being picked off. High Templars standing in the middle, not going to get a storm up before it gets killed. The natural expansion of Best completely penetrated. So Hydra, woo. Hydra might be the guy here. Moves on forward. Hydra's going to move in all the way to the main. Going to plant themselves outside the gateways. And there's a lot of trouble here for Best. Hydra's second time around just surprising him with a huge Hydra attack. Pumping a lot of Hydras and going in and doing a lot of damage. GG coming in from Best. Wow, talk about your upset. Hydra going to get to the round of 16. Add him to the list of how did this guy get to the round of 16. Nice performance here with some Hydralisks by Hydra. So he's going to move forward. Looking forward to see how he manages. So I'm going to move on to a Lures match and see whoever whoever faces Best in the final match. GG guys, wrenching that for listening. Hope you enjoyed.